watching the Uptown Mommy live stream from before. I caught your live stream this morning and watched that. Almost took some BABA, but we decided not to do that. And I've been educating myself all day, so I haven't taken a trade. I haven't lost any money. I'm happy about that.
Gotcha. Okay, all right. So hopefully from this one-on-one, and also if you have the opportunity to tune in the morning as I just give my guidance on the trades and what I think of the trades, and slowly but surely you will be able to say like, oh, damn, yeah, okay, this makes sense, right? It all starts clicking,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's what I want for you guys. So, we talked about this previously, how TMI, STB, and myself, we don't really deviate from what the chart tells us, right? We say it differently, but we're saying the same thing, right? So, with that being said, it's like we want you guys to be able to say like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what the chart's telling me, right? And so let's see if we get some people in the live here. I'm going to place this in two places, and we should start seeing people load up the chat. And when we do, I'll cue you in on when to introduce yourself.
Cool.
I have one-on-one. This multitasking thing I'm not very good at. Okay. So let's go ahead and get back to this chat here. All right. Okay, you motherfuckers are back in here. That's great.
So we can swear on this stream then. That's good to know.
We're popping. We got 13 people. People, let the Discord know. Let them know that we're doing this one-on-one. We're going to go ahead and just review what's going on. His mentality. He's going to tell you some of the things he's struggling with, and maybe you will be receptive to it and listen through. We're going to go ahead and make this man a bomb-ass trader. So we got Kelly from Toronto. I'm assuming you're a big hockey fan.
You know what? I used to be when I was a kid, but being a Torontonian, we follow the Toronto Maple Leafs, the saddest NHL hockey team in the history of the NHL. So it's kind of like, okay, I don't want to compare them to AMC. No, I won't do that. But we've been following them for years and years and years and years, and they continuously don't win a Stanley Cup. So I live down the street from their old arena. I still love them, but I don't follow them all that much. This man is not from France, Tony C.
There you go. How does a team, I mean, a nation, second to Russia, who damn near invented ice, how do they suck in hockey? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But
exactly.
All right, our job is not to care about hockey, is to care about your portfolio. Let's fucking rock and roll, man. Kelly from Toronto, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you give this man a like. Give him a big shout out. We're having fun here. Let the Discord know. He's going to share what he's struggling with. And so you take over, sir. What are we dealing with? Go ahead.
Thank you so much, man. I'm a crackhead from Toronto, man. Recovered 10 years. I want to make some friggin' money and get an awesome life for myself. And you guys are a big part of that. So I'm super, super happy to be here.
Oh, wow. That's deep. Recovering deep, 10 years, man. 10 years sober? 10 years sober.
Man. 10 years off the pipe, my friend.
Man, bless you.
Thank you. I see that in our community that we have a lot of people, that struggle with that too, right? So aside from everything else, if anyone needs any advice or where to start, you reach out to me personally on Twitter or Discord, and I'm here to help. However, what are we here for? We're here to share my other struggles. So, man, thanks for making the time. So I use Interactive Brokers for my trading. In Canada, we cannot use Webull with real money. I do use Webull for to look at because I love the Webull interface. So I do use that. Have you heard of DAS Trader?
No.
DAS. Okay. So it's an overlay for my Interactive Broker. So I just use Interactive Brokers in the background, use DAS Trader for my order entry. I've got about $3,100 in my account right now, but I've been adding, and it hasn't been going up. It's been staying the same or going down, right? Because I've been kind of doing 1348 on my own without following the rules. And, some things that I struggle with, entry and exit. So I often enter too late and I think, shit, I've missed it. Or like, for example, today I brought up Moderna in the live stream earlier, and I'm like, you know what? If this was me before knowing what I know now, I may have entered that after the big rip up, just because, like, hey, why would it stop now? I don't do that anymore. One of the things that I wasn't doing was taking the RSI and the MACD and incorporating them into my decision making. So I would see the SPY with a couple of great candles breaking above the 200, not go to the 4 hour, not go to the 1 day, and just go, well, it's 1348. Let's print some money, and then I would get stopped out, or I would cancel my stop, and I would sometimes hold it overnight because it's got to rebound tomorrow, right? Yeah. And I would lose my entire premium. So I've actually lost, to be honest, embarrassingly enough, a shit ton of fucking money. Trying this my way. So actually, that's one of the things I wanted to mention was my stops coming to me very quickly.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay.
I'm smart guy. I'm teachable. I know I can do this.
Yeah. You know what? Anyone can do this. You just need proper guidance, and you need to believe in the system and the process. And most importantly, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I know my brand is Coke and Hookers, and I know that's cringe. That's cringe for, the journey that you've taken, as an individual. And I'm absolutely proud of you. I think this whole entire community is proud of you for your ability to be candid, which shows the level of comfort you have in this community. So I give you a round of applause. Guys, it's not where you've been, it's where you're going, right? And so we all have that struggle, right? And where you guys are right now in your journey and learning 1348, you're going to look back 3-5 years and say, damn, wow, I've come a long way, right? But you have to believe in it. You have to envision it. You have to speak it. And what you say will manifest itself. This man at some point of his life saw that he needed to make that change, and he chose to make that change, and he stuck to it. So by virtue of him being able to do that, 1348 will be a walk in the park for you.
Right on.
All right. Thank
you for the words, man. Thank you.
Fucking get it. Yeah, dude. We're all proud of you. That's such a beautiful story. It's human. It's the human condition, right? To sort of kind of champion perseverance. And that's how we evolve as a species. You see, I'm a firm believer of that, right? So what you've accomplished is no easy task, and I promise you, you did that. You're gonna kick ass with this. All right. So let's fucking rock and roll, man. And stop blushing over there. I can see you turning red over there, man. You're turning red. He's blushing.
I love it.
I made a Canadian blush. Imagine that. A fucking American made a Canadian blush.
We're getting hearts from Diana over here, man. Like, this is a good day.
Yes. It's Diana. Diana has a heart of gold. So does STV's Cougar. She has a real heart of gold, and she wants to show STV something else. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I did have coffee. I had coffee. Yeah, so I'm a coffee addict. Okay, so entering trades, exiting trades, following the rules. It all falls back down to believing the system. Okay. That's really what it all does. Like people tend to, do things their own way because they say, okay, yeah, it works. I could see it working, but I'm going to try to beat it. You see? And by virtue of trying to beat a system, you always get your ass handed to you. Okay. Now, again, you just think of like a Tesla facility, right? They're making cars, right? And the system is in place. The minute one robot deviates from its task, it fucks everything else up. You see? So let's get to the chart. Let's look at Moderna. This was a chart you're familiar with because this is a chart that you were considering. Okay, so let's look at this. Guys, we talked about Moderna this morning, did we not? Okay, so here we go. You saw this call here, right? Now, I want you to walk me through what you were thinking.
So to be honest, Gabe, I did not see the alert. So I think I was just randomly looking around my watch list and saw Moderna around 11:15 and said, "Oh shit, this thing looks pretty good. Maybe it's a good time to make an entry now." I kind of brought it up in the. I didn't do it. I didn't enter into it. But a few weeks ago, I probably would have. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm glad you didn't, because the risk that you took for it to go mostly sideways, yes, it caught itself and it's rocking and rolling to the upside. So yes, there is some money to be made. If we're coming in at 11.15, we're looking at 169, currently 171, right? Nowhere near as big as the move if he would have caught it here, right?
Yeah.
And he would have made a ton of money. But what you're risking here at these levels, like, again, that's why we have that rule. If the cross doesn't happen in front of your eyes, don't take it. Now, you're using interactive brokers and you're using an overlay. I tell you what, you go ahead, all right? And I love your story so much. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to open up a TradingView account, and I want you to prepay it with all the indicators for a year. I'm then going to reimburse you for that.
Dude.
I'm going to, send it to you Canadian dollar. I want you trading off of TradingView.
Hey, listen, Gabe, thank you so much, my friend, man. I really appreciate that.
No problem, man. All right. So the reason why we want you on TradingView is because on TradingView, you see with our alerts, everybody knows this and they've learned to love it, is that once you save my chart, okay, and you want TradingView Pro so that you can get access to 5 indicators here, right? But what you're able to see on these charts are support and resistance. So it gives you a mental cue as to, okay, if I entered this trade, when should I get out, right? So now we're on the 4-hour of Moderna here, right? And we have this big boom boom candle. This is what we saw this morning, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now it's consolidating at the 200 EMA. I'm probably not going to get into this until, one, we get across and we see that this candle has firmly captured the 200, right? And more importantly, once that happens, we have the expectation that Moderna can run up to 180, right? So if you missed a move today, does not mean that the move doesn't exist in the future, right? What you're essentially doing now is you're creating your thesis and your hypothesis, and you're looking at the chart and you're saying, okay, I'm going to make an educated guess based on this crossover, based on these indicators. The RSI, a little hot, that's cool. As long as it remains above 50, then the trend continues. And then we have the MACD, which is following the trend. And of course, my favorite, the shaft trend cycle, which is green, all confirming all systems go on the 4-hour. Then what we'd like to do, confirm that thesis on the daily. So the daily is literally saying, hey, we're kind of running flat. But the daily is also saying, and this is actually a good thing, right? Should we get a bigger candle tomorrow, tomorrow's candle, should that candle be approximately right here, you should see a cross on the 1348 for the daily, which then confirms the thesis on the 5-minute. Right now, the 5-minute has not matured enough for me to say I'm going to take that play. I'm waiting for other happenings, such as what we saw on the 4-hour and what we saw on the daily, which is breaking the 200 EMA firmly breaking this 200 EMA, because on the 5-minute, that seems to be where it's hitting resistance, right? So we firmly break it on the 4-hour, and then we see the cross on the daily. Then, maybe tomorrow, don't miss out on this, right?
Okay.
Don't miss out on Moderna. Now, Moderna is on your watch list because there she goes. She's saying, hey, Kelly, you want some. You want some. Let's do it. Right. And then when you're done with Moderna, you then move on to, another woman. By the way, need to ask you, are you married? I don't want to offend your wife or anything like that.
No, I'm actually single, and so there you go. I'm looking for the craziest woman on the Discord from the Greater Toronto area. I mean, come on, Dave. You've never dated a normal, not crazy woman. What fun would that be?
They're all fucking crazy, man. They're all fucking crazy, right? But they have good hearts. They have good hearts, right? But they're all fucking crazy, right? There you go. You got Morgan saying, hey, Morgan. Kelly, I think she's Canadian.
Looks like she's 78 years old. No, that's just probably the when she was born there. Okay, well, that's great. Hey, listen. Here
All
we go.
right. All right. 1348 has now become Match.com. Definitely
Yes.
worth your subscription. She's in New York. Hey, look at New York is a hop, skip, and a jump. Hey, I'm
Yep,
sure Kelly can make it happen, especially when he's printing with 1348.
that's
All
right.
right. So, all right, Kelly. So we're going to get back into the chart here.
Sure.
So you understand what I shared with you on Moderna. Does it make sense? Does it make sense to you? If it's
Yes,
not
it
making
does.
sense to you, I'm not doing a good job. So be
No,
honest with me.
that did. Yes.
Yeah. All right, good. Okay, so let's go over another trade that might have stumped you.
Okay.
So just spill out that ticker, man. Let's go.
So I lost some money trading Nvidia yesterday.
Okay.
If you want to go back to then, I haven't traded anything today, but yesterday.
Okay. Yesterday. Uh-huh. Okay.
And my problem was not that, because I played puts yesterday, but my problem was either my stop when I was putting hard stops in at 15%.
Okay.
But I was probably just not getting in at the right time, or I got in too late, or whatever the case was. But twice I got stopped out. I think I lost about $100. That's American dollars, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. So let me help you out with this. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Let me help you out with this. So you got this put. So I'm assuming you entered right on the cross. Is that
no? And that's probably my problem, Gabe. Like, so it was later on in the day. Isn't that why we're here? So you can give me shit and straighten me out. So
all right.
So there, that's it. So I would, man. So I would see it. In my mind, Gabe. Well, it crossed earlier, so it's all good. That's I guess what I was thinking.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about this here, right? So, okay. This is why it's mission critical to play the cross, right? Play it right when it happens. And also, that's why we talk about when you are playing the cross, have maybe a dual monitor, right? So you can guesstimate what the options mid price is relative to where that stock price is in that point of time. Okay. You might get cross-eyed really quick, right? Really quick, because you're trying to look at two things at once. But when you get alerted on a 3-minute, it's sort of kind of preparing you, right? So you're able to see, like, okay, right now at the 3-minute, the mid price is this much at the stock price being this much, right? And so, boom, the 5-minute happens. You already have a fair guesstimate as to what that options mid price should be, right? And obviously, you want to play the mid, or you want to try to get as cheap as possible on that options contract, right? This is going to keep you from getting stopped out. Now, the reason why you got stopped out, I'm going to show you why. Okay. Exactly why. All right. This is why you got stopped out. And again, this is just a hypothesis, but this is based on what the chart did. So let's say you entered somewhere on this candle, not necessarily on a cross, right? But let's say you entered somewhere on this candle and you entered here. So then you come down here and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm making money. But then this candle gets this wick and it pulls you upside, right? So you end up getting stopped. But then there's a massive continuation. However, right, if you didn't get stopped in this area, you certainly got stopped out here, because getting stopped out here, you crossed a 13 EMA, right? And it's all relative to it. Listen, if you entered on the low end of this candle, right, you would have gotten stopped out here, or you would have gotten stopped out here, right? So that's why you want to play as close to, the cross here as possible. And guys, if you're playing the put, this is you're gonna learn today, fellas, right? If you are playing the put and you got a relative idea of where the price is, right? Now, this candle was drawn out, but in that 5-minute period, that candle was increasing and decreasing in size, right? So, it had erectile dysfunction. It was getting bigger and then deflated, bigger and deflated. So essentially, if you have conviction in the play and you have this cross here on the put side, right, you probably want to wait until the candle is its highest value, so that when the put happens, you make the most money. Does that make sense?
It does. And honestly, Gabe, I told you before we went live that I actually watched the live stream that you did with Uptown Mommy there. And that's something I think you spoke to with her as well. And I watched that after I traded yesterday. I'm like, shit, okay. When you say conviction, what I understand that to be now is, look, I've made a decision that this is the direction that this stock is going to go. Fuck what the candle's going to do for the next 30 seconds. Because in my mind, I've made a decision. It's going to go down if I'm taking a put. So what I learned from that was, look, take some time, find the best price, and then enter instead of going. What I have been doing is going, oh shit, enter as soon as possible, no matter where the candle's at.
Exactly. All right. So okay, so you want to go ahead and take a perspective and just widen it out, right? So it's crazy how some people, and this is why I don't like you guys are gonna hate me for this, right? Don't report me, right? But the GWs and all those technical setups, I don't like.
Okay.
I don't, because what you're doing is, guys, is you're basing everything off a price action and on a candle. You don't want to do that. You want to look at it at its chart in its entirety, and then you want to comb over multiple time frames, right? That's going to build your thesis and your conviction in the play, right? So if we're seeing a put and we know the rules, price action below the 200 EMA, right? You got RSI below 50, cool. MACD maturing, following the same trend. But then let's say we got the 30-minute and the 4-hour and the daily sort of kind of showing that same trend. Now you got more confidence on that move within the 5-minute, right? It also gives you a general idea of how long that move might last within the intraday, right? So you're using the chart, not the candle. It just blows my mind how people are just using the candle and not using the chart. That's like, just using a woman for her vagina and not looking at the overall package, right? Yeah. You got to look at the overall package. Can she cook? Is she clean? Is she batshit crazy? Right? Does she swallow? That's super important. Swallowing is the most important part of all this, right? And so you have to look at the overall picture. Hey, guys, I joke. I don't mean to objectify women. All right. It's just the culture of this group, and we have fun doing it. But, we try to make it relative, right? Noah, the 16-year-old in this group, no hookers for you, man. We're not even going down that road. So for you, I think what you might want to do in practice, right, is after the market closes, right, whether you took a trade in a stock or you didn't, right, write that ticker down, right? Then when market closes, review, put a timestamp next to that ticker, right? And even if you don't play it, write the direction based on what you saw that you thought it was going to go. Okay. And then at market close, go ahead and review it, right? This is going to help you cement, one, good habits, and two, the visual cues, okay? So I've been doing this so long that, my eyes are just going through the progressions really quick, right? And this is rapid. It's muscle reflex, if you will. Just like any sport, or anything that you do, is muscle reflex, right? So over time, and I think that when market closes and you practice that, right, you'll develop that muscle reflex. Like, okay, boom, I'm on the 5-minute. I'm looking at the chart here. This is what the chart's telling me. Let me go look at the 4-hour. Let me look at the daily. Let me look at the 30 minutes, see if it's following the trend. Okay, now the rules. Price action below the 200 EMA, RSI below, 50, MACD following the trend, shaft trend cycle showing you the same thing, which you will have access to once I give you TradingView. All right. So make sure when you sign up for TradingView, you sign up for TradingView Pro Plus. Oh my God. I fucking sound like Short the Vix right now, just talking hella fast. This cup of coffee is what did it for me. Holy fuck. Yes. All right. There's going to be a lot of narratives out there saying that I smoke a line, but I don't. Or smoke a line. No, smoke the crack pipe. Yeah, snort a line. That's different. But
You can.
TV is a game changer. I feel
Okay.
TV is a game changer
Wow.
because I'm giving you my chart. I'm giving you my set of eyes, right?
Right.
And by virtue of you joining us on a daily in the morning, and you hear me like a broken fucking record, just saying the same things over, looking at what I'm looking at, you will condition yourself to that, and it will make you a better trader,
Okay.
guaranteed, guaranteed.
Beautiful, man.
So yeah, dude, I love your energy, by the way, man, and I love your
Thanks.
story. If there's any way we could go ahead and like really highlight your journey, I would love to do that because we all come from just dark places. I believe everybody at some point in their life, they emerge from a dark place, which defines them and makes them, that much more powerful, right? I love that. I love personal development, man. I can't tell you how
Thanks,
proud I
dude.
am of you, bro.
Yeah, man.
So, okay.
We've all got trauma. We all got trauma, right? But do we rise above it, or what do we do? That's the game changer. That's what defines us.
That's the fucking game changer right there, bro. That's what defines us, right? Okay, so next trade, man. This is fun.
Oh, you
What do
want
you
to see
got for
what
me?
else? So, oh Christ, what did I do yesterday? You know, here, two trades that have been really bothering me that I made
Okay.
money on, but I got out way fucking too early. So
Okay.
it was a little while ago. So it was when GameStop just went over 100, but then ran another 25% that day. And
Okay.
then a few Mondays ago when AMC had its 40% day.
Okay.
I'll tell you about the AMC trade. So it was fairly early in the morning. It had crossed. I took out maybe two contracts at, let's just say it was $22, and I made $77, and I was pretty happy with that. But if I had held on for a little while longer, of course I would have made 1,000% or whatever the case was that day. So my problem sometimes is I know 15% is a great place to take profits. I know 10% is a great place to take profits, but my something that pisses me off is that I sometimes sell too early when there's probably no reason for me to be selling.
Okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to help you out with this.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. So we are looking at AMC on March 28th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you first and foremost, don't stress yourself about this play. I'm going to
Okay.
tell you why. Okay. AMC was acting like a penny stock. That volatility, that run up, right? That FOMO, that whatever that we saw, it was acting like a penny stock. And there's a reason why I say to the Discord and everybody, stay the fuck away from penny stocks because they behave this way, right? There's literally no rhyme or reason as to, why it ran because currently it's, $17, right? So, you get this call here on AMC. And then if you look at the chart, you see that resistance was hit at 26.45, right?
Yep.
So, okay, that's if I'm playing this is where I'm going to get out. Also, another clue, and this is what STV. I give this kid credit. He's got sharp eyes, but when you have the point here where RSI just sort of kind of crosses over its moving average, and mind you, when you have TradingView, you have this tool. Okay,
Cool.
this tool will be super important. It literally tells you, once you get that move to the downside, and then once you see resistance got printed, and then the candle break, you're taking profit here, right? You get out and you've maximized your profit for the leg. That's another thing, you filthy fucking animals. You need to stop looking at the whole entire day as a leg, right? Legs happen in, 30, 45-minute stretches, right? So if we go ahead and we look at AMC, it started running at, let's say, 9:30 where that cross was, and it ran all the way up until 11:35. That's a fucking long ass duration. That is a leg, right?
Yeah.
You're done, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
All right. So you guys want to go ahead and like, if your goal is to go to the moon with something, let me show you this.
Right? I mean, my
Right.
problem on that play was getting out at like 9:45, not 11 o'clock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotcha. I
Okay.
gotcha. But if you had this chart with you, if you had this chart, you would have had a little more confidence to stay in a play because all indicators were just saying, "Hey, bro, just hang out, just hang out."
That was my
Right?
problem. Could have, and it was funny. I did the same thing with GME the week before, and at the end of the day, I would have been up about $3,000, and I think I made 50 or something like that. But if I had held on, which I wouldn't have held on through the entire day, and I'm like, oh man, that was fucking stupid.
Yeah,
it's been a lot of money. One contract, yeah.
So, I will say this. Somebody actually mentioned this in the chat. This was Len. That's why we don't play these meme stocks. They have no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
No rhyme or reason. Everyone says, they're heavily manipulated. No, they're heavily inflated. I want you guys to take that other thought process. It's heavily inflated, right? So, I mean, think about Jimmy. Does Jimmy have any business being at $200? Depending, if your view is go to the moon, it's like, hey, fuck it. I don't care about anything else. I just want to go to the moon. But if you go ahead and you look at it for what it is, it's inflated, right? And up until until the squeeze plays out, it's just gonna find, volatility. Okay. I probably don't want to be part of that. I buy, I hold, I buy more, and just like whatever, fuck it, right? You got plenty of other plays like Nvidia that if you played it smart, AMD. If you play it smart, you will make money. Okay, so that's what we want you to do: make money. Okay, so check this out, right?
Okay.
You jumped in AME, you jumped in GME, and you jumped in AMC because it played into your chaser mentality. You didn't want to miss it.
Okay, yeah.
Being honest with you, right? So what that's telling you is that you keep reintroducing yourself into a toxic relationship. You want none of that, right? If you have to enter a trade scared, don't enter it.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, on those days that I entered them, they were running, and they had just.
Oh yeah.
My entry was perfect. It was my exit that I screwed up.
It was your exit, and the reason why you exit because you were scared. You were like, "Oh fuck,
right?
Yeah, I gotta follow rules. I gotta follow rules. Like, oh shit, scared. What's gonna happen is there gonna be a rug pull? Eventually there was a rug pull, right? So you were thinking that way, right? And that's fine. That's the way we want you to think. Because when you build your portfolio to the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, we want you to always trade on the side of caution, but with confidence, not fear. Okay. If you're trading with fear, that means you did something wrong. It's kind of like being a kid. You do something fucked up, and you're like, shit, mama's going to get the belt on me. You got the fear of God in you, right? Do you know you fucked up? Right? Just
I don't. You're from the Bronx, dude. We don't do that shit in Canada here. We don't whip each other like you guys, like you New Yorkers do.
Oh man, we're barbaric, man. We are fucking barbaric. But okay, that's a cultural clash. All right, I gotcha. But at some point you have to be like, shit, I fucked up, right? Yeah. It's just accountability. It's accountability. That's all that is, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, moving on to the next trade. Let's rock and roll, man.
Okay. What do we got here? Oh Christ! Look, I wish I could go back and see what I print off what I did yesterday.
Okay.
But honestly, dude, I don't know where to find that in my program, what I did yesterday and what I lost money on. You know what I did? I lost money on the SPY yesterday at the end of the day. Right at the end of the day. Okay, so here was my thought. Of course, I remember this one like it was yesterday at the end of the day. I lost about $80 because I played a put right near the end of the day, thinking to myself, well, I've seen this thing at the end of the day. I know it goes crazy, either one way or the other. So I think what I did is I took too much of a guess and said, well, it's going to continue down, and
there goes your put. This was yesterday.
A shitload of money.
Yeah.
No, only at the end of the day. I'm talking the last 15 minutes where it bottomed at 437.50.
So around here.
So as soon as it rebounded there, okay, obviously I started losing money. So I took a put right before there. So it was well away from the cross. And I'm glad I know that, I don't want to enter, 2 hours after the cross, because honestly, I didn't know that until I know it was obviously better to get it close to the cross, but I didn't realize that, hey, it crossed earlier. It's still okay to enter. And now I'm glad you told me that, because I honestly didn't know.
Yeah. So you didn't get this cross here, right? So this was pure speculation. Now, if you would have had this chart, you would have saw that it hit support, right? So you probably wouldn't have taken that bet, right?
Okay.
It hit support. Now, this is also what we talk about in our Discord, guys. We talk about the rim job, right? So rim jobbing is, you let price action go. It's sort of kind of like comes back, it goes, and it comes back, it goes, and then it comes back. So this is the problem. When it came back, it rested here. All things are looking pretty, right? But then we get this candle here is still sitting there. So, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Well, we know that we have a support here. We probably would have waited for this candle. And this candle was more than convincing enough to say, yeah, we're changing directions, right? Especially when you have, and this is the wild part, you guys, indicators will never lie to you. Once it hit the bottom here, right, the RSI popped, and it just popped, and it kept on popping. MACD crossed. The MACD crossed, started getting green. Shaft trend signaled it's go time, it's green time, right? It signaled the reversal for you on the 5-minute. That is the beauty of these TradingView charts and the way we have it set up for you. You guys get to see. Now, it doesn't even matter when expiration was, because if he played a put and he held on to it, he's royally fucked right now. Because look at where it's at right now.
Yeah.
Right. So getting stopped out was probably the best thing that ever happened to you.
Well, okay. I didn't get stopped out. I manually stopped myself out. I did sell it by the end of the day, because I've fallen victim to that before. Where I'm like, oh fuck it, it'll continue down tomorrow. And I thought of that today. Go, oh shit, man! Thank Christ I did that.
Gotcha. All right. I'm telling you, man, there's so much value in this chart. There's so much value in TradingView. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are, scared of spending an extra $39 a month on TradingView, if you're scared of that, then you're in the wrong fucking Discord, because we're all about making money and investing in ourselves and giving ourselves the right tools. I tell you what, you've heard of the gold rush, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Who made the most money in the gold rush?
The people who were there first. I don't know.
Yeah, the people who sold the tools.
Oh, okay.
Right? Everyone and their mama was going there for gold. But then there was a guy that there's no gold if there isn't, a hammer, whatever.
You need your pick, man.
Yeah, right. It was those guys. They were the ones who made all the money. And so, but it's also important. The tools were required, right? If you went to California during the gold rush and you had no fucking tools, what are you going to do is sit there, twiddle your thumbs, and hope that, a gold ball just falls on your fucking lap. It just doesn't work that way, right, guys? So again, invest in yourself and invest in the tools, and you will make money. This is serious, guys. This is serious high-level shit that will change your life, and it's something that you can teach your family and your children. And yeah, it will change your fucking life. So invest in that. If you've never heard anyone in your life tell you, I believe in you, then I'll be that person to say it. I believe in you. All right. Now it's time for you to believe in yourself and take that leap of faith on yourself. All right. No one's going to give you MOAS. You got to create MOAS for yourself. All right. Back to you, sir. Let's rock and roll. Next ticker, man.
Man, I don't know. Did I play Micron yesterday? I don't think I did.
All right. Did Micron fall on your lap somehow? Like,
Well, it has in the past. I know STV, we're always talking about Micron on his stream. He loves it. So that's something that's I'm always thinking about Micron. So I may enter that just thinking it's kind of like the home team. I put too much faith in it that it's going to go the way I want it to go. But I don't know if I did that or not yesterday.
Okay.
I mean,
okay. So let's look at Micron now while we have it in a live trade. Okay. Sure. All right. So we got Micron right now. You guys saw that call here, right? And we talked about this. We had that big boom, boom candle, whatever. It came back to support, found the 13, right? So did someone ask me earlier if I would take this? I think I said no because it was just way too far away from the 13. But again, this proves my point in believing the system. I would not have entered on this boom candle until I saw it rim job to 13, especially if I missed this call, right? And then what happens? Resistance. You found resistance here, right? Do you see what happened there with these candles? It found resistance, and that resistance happened in pre-market. You see that there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was rim jobbing to 13 until it finally broke through. And then, oh shit, we got new highs for the day, right? Now we got some resistance here. What does it do? It falls back to the 13. Now, if I entered here, I would have exited here, right? And I would have treated this as a leg, right? Then we have this candle. So we close out here. We have this candle. Let's see what's going to happen. All right, candle bust right through the 13 once again, right? This is what we call a condom breakage. It just broke right through the 13. And then it had a continuation. And where did it find resistance? Back here, fairly close. That's your box. And then it lost momentum, right? And everything. Look what happens here, guys. Oh my God, this is textbook. You see the RSI, the EMA and the RSI, that's the yellow line, right? So that's the RSI moving average, right? But the real-time RSI is in purple. When you have that inflection point, meaning the RSI broke below, you got the MACD breaking below, you got the shaft trend saying buy. Look what happened to the price. It just went with it, right? And then it found support. Guys, you knew where this shit was going to find support. It found support at the 200 EMA. We always talk about the 200 EMA being support and resistance, and the EMAs themselves acting as support and resistance. So what are we seeing here? We get the bounce off the 200 EMA. Now we got the 13s here, right? So we got a put here, right? But we got the 13 and the 48 just hanging out here, right? There's not enough thigh gap here, right? This is what happened. The hooker said, fuck the shit out of me. And then now she's saying, hold up, bro, I'm sore. I'm not opening my legs up right now. I am fucking sore. Okay, so you got to go easy on her. You got to say, all right, babe, you know what? We're good. Take your time. Let me know how you feel. So this is what's happening. You get price and it's hitting the 200 EMA and, you see the 13 EMA. You want that gap to develop to confirm this put. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a nice candle to the downside. We also, going based on this wick, we know that there is potential for this to move to the downside here. Okay. Now, this is just based on a 5-minute. Now, if we go to the 30-minute, we go ahead and we look at the overall trend on the 30-minute. And the overall trend is saying, hey, yeah, shit's not looking good. Okay. We got RSI that's still slightly above 50, but we got this candle here that's within the zones. You see that it got rejected here at the 200 EMA. Yep. Now let's go ahead and look at the 4-hour. The 4-hour. Ooh, 4-hour. Here we go. You guys remember we talked about 13 acting as support and resistance. So that's what's happening here, right? So it's getting caught in the zone. We have resistance, a true resistance line drawn here, but it's moving sideways. For all it's worth, guys, it's moving sideways. So now let's go ahead and look at the daily. Okay. The daily, it's in a downtrend. You see that downtrend? It's confirmed. Okay, good. So what that means is on the 5-minute, I have a lot of confidence on this move when it breaks the 200 EMA and when this thigh opens up, this thigh gap. When she says like, okay, Kelly, I'm ready. Right? I want your big, white, massive Toronto maple flavored, whatever.
That's
Okay.
what it is. Yep,
Yeah.
precisely.
Give it to her then. Okay. This is how we play the charts, guys. You read these charts, you're fucking unstoppable. You're unstoppable, right? Listen, we're all shitty traders. We're all fucking shitty traders, all of us, right? Just some respect what the chart's telling them more than others. And when you get to that point, right, you're going to be a fucking amazing trader. And when I say we're all, yes, when I say we're all shitty traders, it's because it's human nature to speculate, right? So naturally, my experience with Canadians is that they're fucking pricks, and they don't like Americans, right? I could have speculated that that's what Kelly is. I haven't heard an A come out of his mouth yet. I'm happy,
I
right?
appreciate that. Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that if I would have passed on that assumption about him, I would have never allowed him on a live stream. It's probably best to keep your emotions and your reservations off the chart. Just follow what the chart's telling you to do, man. And you go ahead. You get me that invoice for TradingView, brother. And I'm gonna go ahead and if you got Zelle or Cash App or something, I can go ahead and just transfer you the funds.
Dude,
and get that
thank
taken
you
care of.
so much, Gabe. That's fucking amazing. I really appreciate that, man. Appreciate you too. I truly believe you're a genuinely generous and want the best for every single person in that Discord, and it shows, man. We appreciate you so much, man. We love you.
Love you too, man. Love you too. Now go ahead and get to that important meeting. Hopefully, it's with a hooker.
Honestly, it's with a little person, literally, over at a local recovery home. So he's been struggling. So I get to go see him a couple times a week. So
he's fucking paying it forward. This is dope as hell, guys. This is the human condition. This is what we are innately. This is fucking great. I love it, man.
Yeah.
All right, dude. You go handle your business and get back to me with that invoice. We got that taken care of for you.
Thank you so much. Everyone have a great day. Great talking to you.
All right. Likewise. Take it easy, brother. Peace.
Thanks.
Bye. All right, guys. We are going to end the stream. We're going to let Kelly do what he has to do. And yeah. I hope you guys definitely enjoyed this one-on-one. Okay. I think Kelly made this one-on-one damn near fucking amazing. All right. So I am signing out. I am contemplating a 2:30. Right now it is 1:00. I'm contemplating that. And yeah. Guys. Yeah. It's all dependent on my lower back. All right. I got that old man problem, right? So this is what happened, right? So I came across this hooker, right? She was more weight than my pelvic bone could handle, and it fucked my back up. No, that's just a funny story. The true story is I'm just an old man. All right, love you all. I'm signing out.